The truth about life in America. Well, at the moment, you must be excited planning your big move dito sa Amerika, perhaps as an individual or kasama ang iyong buong pamilya. First of all, I want to congratulate you. Congratulations for this wonderful opportunity and a really generous gift from God. Congratulations sa iyo. Well, you must have questions. You must have a little bit of, worry, anxiety, and you have questions in your mind, and you just don't know what to expect. Kahit nagre-research ka na, nag-google ka na, which helpful yung mga nahahanap mong online, I think it helps na merong tao like me. My name is Jennifer, and I am your friend, Filipino living here in Michigan for 20 years, na merong real life experience na makakapag-share talaga kung ano ba yung real deal, ika nga, ng totoong experience ng isang Filipina na nag-migrate at nagsimula ng buhay dito sa Amerika. I have 10 things to share. Okay, so let's get started. Well, number one na i-expect nyo, especially to those who are extremely independent, well, you will have to be dependent on people, friends, families, coworkers for a while. Well, let me explain. Okay? So for me kasi ang experience ko, and this will also depend kung saan kayo lilipat, anong parte ng Amerika. In my case, dito ako sa Michigan, USA. Well, unlike Chicago, like big cities like Chicago, New York, LA, dito sa Michigan, wala kaming public transportation. Yung, as in yung level ng, let's say, sa New York, may subway. Or sa Chicago, it's really easy to get around kasi may mga bus, may mga system talaga sila na even without a car, you can go around. Well, in Michigan, siguro may mga certain areas like, Detroit, or like dito sa Ann Arbor, kung saan nandito yung University of Michigan, merong maliliit na route, na bus system na you can go around dito sa bubble na ito ng Ann Arbor. But outside that, wala talaga. So you need a car to be able to go grocery shopping, run errands, pumasok sa eskwela or sa trabaho. You do need a vehicle. Pero syempre, pag lipat mo rito, in my case, no, you still don't have, you first still have to take care of your social security, your state ID. Then you have to take the student, I think you have to actually take the student driving class bago ka makapag schedule ng written test and then ng practical test. Then you have to pass the test. And once you get your license na pumasa ka na, then now you need to like look for a car, purchase the car, and then you can drive. I think for me, it took a total of 6 months to get to that point. So just keep that in mind. I also wrote here things like, you will need help, depend on people to teach you about basic knowledge of your area, culture, di ba? Yung mga do's and don'ts. Makakatulong yan, yung mga tao na matagal na dito na mabigyan ka ng idea kung ano yung mga, do's and don'ts. Where to shop. In my case, you always have to ask, saan ba, where can I buy, you know, um, jackets where it's great value, hindi masyado mahal, and another thing I wrote here is like, for instance, dito sa Michigan, I knew of a couple who came from California and they bought a house. And then yung neighbor nila, I think summer sila lumipat. And then nung magsisimula na yung fall-ish/early winter, hindi pa nila na-winterize yung kanilang bahay. For example, yung front lawn nila, I think may mga sprinkler system sila. And they had to like do something to winterize, maybe shut it off or whatever. Wala kasi kaming sprinkler, so I don't even know how to do that. But, things like that, they were not prepared. They didn't know that they had to winterize their home. So that's it. So number one is dependence, okay? Number two na may expect nyo, especially nowadays, is that mahal ang bilihin. Cost of living have gone up, okay? So that's the effect of, I think, one of the effects. So, of course, there are many factors, pero yan yung talaga napansin natin after COVID, di ba? It's a global thing. Lahat naman, kahit saan, nagtaasan talaga ang mga bilihin. 20 years ago when I moved here, a dozen of eggs, lalo pag naka-sale, you may even get it for 75 cents. But it's usually $1, $1.25. At the height of inflation, dito sa US mga a year ago, makikita mo yung isang karton, yung 1 dozen of egg, lalo yung mga organic pasture raised. It's like as high as like $8, $9. Coffee has gone up. It actually doubled in price. I remember buying a bag of Tim Hortons coffee na grounded sa Sam's Club. Sam's Club is like Costco, which I think is like SNR dyan sa inyo sa Pilipinas, ano. Um, my husband told me last month, like, Jennifer, you have to check kasi nagdoble. I read somewhere that the price of coffee have doubled. And then I checked it, tama nga, kasi ang presyo niya was like something like $18.50. So it's almost $19. And I could remember those bags being around like $7.50, $8.50. So, mahal na bilihin. Pati mga renta. Of course, it varies kung saang lugar kayo magre-renta. Siyempre, yung mga area na siguro mas, hindi affluent, so to speak, maraming low income, syempre, diyan kayo makakahanap ng low rent, pero syempre medyo sometimes questionable ba kung safe. Otherwise, if you want to go somewhere na medyo middle class area, maganda yung area, prepare to pay a lot. Right now in Michigan, ang area na suburb na magandang area, no, na decent yung price dito sa area namin. Siguro 1 bedroom, 1 bath, around 750 square foot space, will probably start around like 1,250 a month. Yung client ko na property leasing manager siya sa bagong gawa na apartment complex sa area na ang tawag Brighton, right here in Michigan. Malapit yan sa Ann Arbor din, no? It's a luxury apartment. Yung kanilang studio apartment is already, studio lang yan. So walang 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Walang sariling bedroom, ano. It's a studio apartment. And sabi niya, it's already 1,650. And then ang 2 bedroom, 2 bath is around $2,500 a month. And then meron silang unit na konti lang naman, mga 3 o 4 na suite type na ito na yung 3 bedroom, 3 bath, yung mga malalaking unit nila. And those are like $3,500 a month. So, just be prepared na mahal na rin ang cost of living dito. Mahal na rin ang bilihin. So, you really wanna make sure na you be on top of your finances. You gotta, once you get here, learn about budgeting, learn about even like embrace the minimalist or minimalism mindset. Okay? Importante yan. Basta get on top of your finances and your financial, abilities and skills. Okay? All right. And then number 3, that life is busy. Kasi kahit naman sa Pilipinas, there is like a big difference, Let me backtrack. Life is busy, okay? So ang point kasi dito sa Amerika, mapapansin niyo, parang all you do if you're not careful, is like work, and then when it's your day off, you clean, you grocery shop, you do laundry, and then rinse and repeat, ika nga. So, sa Pilipinas kasi, at least nung nandun pa ako sa Pilipinas nakatira, we were a multi-generational household. So, meaning, nakatira sa amin yung kapatid ng mami ko, meron pa akong lola nun. So, tas may kasama pa kayo sa bahay, di ba? So, madaming taong gumagalaw sa bahay to take care of the household chores, pati mga labahin. So, when I was living there, nung nag-graduate na ako ng college, nagsimula na ako magtrabaho, my focus mainly was to go to work and then gimmick with the barkadas. And then pag uwi, I don't really cook. I don't do laundry. I don't have to clean the house. So literally work, gimmick, uwi. That was my lifestyle. So dito sa Amerika, ang difference is unless kayo ay lilipat, let's say na-petition kayo, malaki na yung family nyo, may family na kayo dito, parang ganun pa, kumbaga lumipat nga kayo sa Amerika pero yung setting nyo is multi-generational pa rin, that's probably a bit different. Pero kung kayo lilipat dito and you're on your own, you will find na busy talaga, no? So for me and my husband, we don't have kids, but we always find ourselves saying like, oh my gosh, paano na, kung ganito na kaming dalawa ka-busy, paano pa kaya yung mga taong may anak, no? Kasi between school, tapos may mga bata dito, daming mga activities, may mga after-school program, may mga practice na kung anong mga sports. But basically, the point is that you will find that life is like busier here in the US simply because you will find yourself na you are on your own. You're doing everything. Unless, again, you are surrounded by fellow Filipino families and you're helping out each other. Okay? Number 4, homesickness. Ako naman, hindi naman ako nakaramdam talaga ng homesickness for some reason, ano. And considering na ako ay mama's girl pa ako, no? Lapit talaga ako sa nanay ko. There were a few moments na parang it hit me. I remember one time it was a Sunday. And then, parang bigla lang ano, no, tumama sa akin na, oh my gosh, I can't just like go and be with my mother. Kasi sa atin, Sunday talaga tumatak na yan sa culture natin, family day yan, di ba? Nagsisimba, kumakain sa labas, manonood ng sine, mag-grocery, pupunta sa food court. Di ba yan yung mga gawain natin dyan? Family day yan eh, shopping, ganyan, di ba? So parang I think there was one time na that thing hit me. Tapos nakaramdam ako ng longing, ng longingness, ng homesickness, pero hindi naman tumagal. Pero I never really experienced that. But I heard people na talagang hindi nila na-shake off yung homesickness, yung iba nga umuwi na lang. Yung mga kilala ko na, let's say, nagtrabaho pa sa England, di ba? Talagang na homesick, no? Umuwi na lang. So, it's real. So, prepare yourself for like that homesickness, okay? And then next is, number 5 is, American dream requires hard work. Yes, sabagay, siguro standard naman, general, ano naman yan, ano, fact or truth na, you know, you need to work hard. Pero dito talaga, it's, yeah, you hustle. You lalo ngayon na, you know, you have to earn money to cover your mortgage or your rent, your, you know, your car, your, you know, kung mag-aral kayo, yung mga student loan. Kasi ito ang mga top na utang ng mga tao dito, payments eh. Bahay, kotse, credit card, student loan. Yan yung mga top 4 nila. Ako, thankfully, I'm debt-free. I've been debt-free for, I would say like about, ano ba yan? Mga 8 years, 7, 8 years na akong debt-free completely. Kahit yung bahay namin bayad, I never had car payment, never ako nag-loan, but that's for a different vlog. I will talk about my life as a debt-free Filipina immigrant and how I became debt-free. Wala akong ganyang payment, but standard ang mga tao dito, may renta, may kotse, may car payment, may student loan, may credit card debt. Okay? So, that's why you need to work hard because you need to pay for your bills, you know? At saka dito, ang daming bills, di ba? Merong kuryente, may tubig, may trash pickup, and then you cannot not have insurance. Meron kang home insurance policy, meron kang car insurance policy, di ba? So, lahat yan, nag-a-add up lahat talaga yan. So, tapos, mahal pa dito ang mga labor, mahal, no? So, let's say you have to replace your tires, yung gulong ng kotse mo. It depends. It can range from $700 to like $1,200. In my case, binibigyan ko lang kayo ng example ng mga expenses, ha? I needed to replace my tires. Well, it snows here in Michigan, and I really need like a safe tires that can perform sa winter time. So I got like the all year round special kind of tires. Boom, $1,200. Then there's property tax. May amilyar, no? Ano pa ba yung mga binabayaran namin dito? Yan, yung mga ganyan. Property tax, diba? Tapos syempre, pag may nasira, you know, to give you an example, yung client ko, 5,000 square foot, yung malaki yung bahay nila, 5,000 square feet, ano. They got an estimate for their bubong. Kailangan nila ng roofing work. Alam niyo ba yung, ano, yung estimate na binigay sa kanila for that big of a house? $68,000. So, you will find that because of the high cost of living and then bawat kibot mo gastos, you know, that you will have to work hard in order to increase your cash flow. Okay? And number 6, the good thing though is that there are lots of work for the masipags, you know? So, ang maganda lang dito sa Amerika, even though marami ding mga issues dito, no? Iba na rin, no? Mas mahirap na rin ang buhay. Still, madami pa ring racket dito. Especially if you're willing to go in the trade industry, meaning to say, tubero, yan, yung mga plumber, electrician, HVAC, heating and cooling, drywaller, painter, roofer, in my case, bilang a hairstylist, you know, elderly care, yung mga nag-aalaga ng mga matatanda, those who run errands for elderly people. Alam nyo, yan yung mga trabaho na yan, the trade industry is not gonna be taken over by AI for a very long time. In fact, yung mga, those people who are in the white collar, medyo tagilid, actually kahit nga minsan sa healthcare, no, medyo may konting tagilid kasi there will be like, uh, ano ba tawag dyan, robot doctors or something like that. Especially they were saying if you're just a knowledge-based doctor, pwede kang mapalitan ng AI doctor. But the point is that mahirap palitan ng AI yung ganitong trabaho, no? Magugupit ng buhok, 'di ba? Magtutubero, electrician, pintura, nagpipintura, nagda-drywall. So you get the point. So if you are masipag, madami kang racket dito ng mga trabaho na pwedeng pasukin. As long as you're willing, you can create wealth, you can create cash flow, and build wealth. Okay? Next, number 7, madaling matempt sa consumer culture, so beware. Okay, guys? So, yan, napaka-importante, and I will have another vlog to just mainly talk about this subject because there's a lot to talk about this consumer culture, or may isa pang term, which is lifestyle inflation. You can make money, but if you keep this lifestyle inflation na tinataas nyo ng tinataas yung inyong lifestyle, you will never be able to save and probably will never get out of debt. Okay? So, yan it will be very challenging kasi as a human being, we're prone to comparing ourselves, we're prone to jealousy and envy. Makita nyo yung kapitbahay nyo, yung medyo may kapamilya kayo siguro or kaibigan na nakabili ng magandang bahay. Now you also want to have the same house, if not bigger and nicer house. Nakita nyo maganda yung kotse ng kaibigan nyo. Now you also want to buy a nicer house, a nicer car, excuse me. So you gotta be careful with that. And I'm so thankful na ang nanay ko, bata pa lang kami, talagang pinlant na talaga sa mind namin na don't keep up with the Joneses. Liquid cash is king. Kasi kung anong mangyari, may pera kayong bubunutin. She also told us na madali nang bumili ng mga bagay na yan pag may pera ka na. And my mom also gave me the perfect formula na hindi naman siguro secret, marami naman nakakalam ng formula na to, which is basically the opposite of lifestyle inflation formula. Sabi ng mama ko, keep increasing your cash flow and decreasing your overhead. So, but if you keep increasing your cash flow, but then you're increasing more your lifestyle, wala ka maiiwan. Di ba yung classic na example na, let's say, this person is only making $50,000 a year, and this person is making like, it doesn't matter, $500,000 a year. But if this person making $500,000 a year is ending up spending $510,000 a year, but this person making $50,000 a year is only spending $30,000 a year, mas nakakasave pa ng $20,000 itong taong ito. Itong isa naman to, negative pa ng 10. So, while yes, nakakatulong talaga kung, mataas yung kita mo, meaning mataas ka din maiipon mo, that is kung talaga nag-iipon ka. But it's also true na it's not the amount of money you make, it's like how you manage your money. So, mag-ingat sa consumer culture or consume lifestyle. Another way to explain that dito nga kasi ganyan. We here in the US are always getting bombarded with, you buy this, kino-condition ka, bini-brainwash ka. If you buy this, you will look a certain way. And it's all about image. And this is, what I'm about to say is now part of me being a Christian, and this is why you need to know that your identity is in Christ. Na validate ka na ni God that your worth and value is never gonna be based on material things. So pag hang up ka pa, kapag attached ka pa, pag ang identity mo is based on showing off to people what you have, then you will continue this cycle na keeping up with the Jones. But once you go deeper with your relationship with God and you know that your identity is in Christ, and then of course yung teaching ni God na biblical about how to become a good steward of money and all the blessings na binibigay ni God, realizing that the money you have is not yours, but it's from God, then mag-iiba yung pag-handle mo ng pera, mag-iiba yung relationship with money. Okay? But that's for another vlog. That would be like a really nice topic to talk about, being or becoming a good steward of God's blessings. Yung money, basically yung money na binibigay sa atin ni God. Okay? And then next is, nakakataba ang food dito. Well, kahit ano namang food, if you're calorie surplus, if you're not on a deficit, tataba ka talaga. And I think even in the Philippines, we're having issues with overweight and obesity. But I just want to say this has got nothing to do with like body shaming, but we gotta address the reality na mahal magkasakit. Di ba ano natin yan, slogan natin sa Pilipinas, yan ano, mahal talaga magkasakit, you know, and that should be enough of a motivation to stay healthy. Lalo dito sa Amerika, ang business ng healthcare dito is talagang grabe. Mahal ang mga insulin, you know, kahit may insurance ka pa, may mga deductible ka, ang mahal magkaroon ng mga kung ano-anong maintenance. And then, of course, ang pinaka magandang magagawa mo sa sarili mo para makatipid ka at hindi masayang yung pera mo sa all sorts of medical bills and medication is to keep yourself healthy. But even I myself, you know, when I moved here, kasi sasarap naman talaga ng mga pagkain dito eh. In fairness, yung mga baked goods dito, I'm a baked goods person, ano, hindi talaga tinitipid ang ingredients dito, you know. So, everything is so accessible. Lahat na ng pagkain na pwede mong itry, talagang, you know, it's so enjoyable, you know. So, kumain, 'di ba? Ako kasi wala naman akong bisyo, hindi ako umiinom, hindi ako naninigarilyo. Ang talagang na-enjoy ko is food. And that's why I have to work out, I have to count my calories, I have a calorie counter. But there was a time when I just moved here that I didn't know all of these things. Kasi dumating ako dito 23 years old, payatot, 90s na bata eh, 'di ba? Hindi pa uso, like unlike ngayon, yung mga chichirya, lahat ng mga milk tea, wala pa yan sa panahon ko noon eh. Nung kabataan ko, ang merienda lang, banana Q, kamote Q, turon, binatog, nilagang saba, nilagang, ano ba yan, corn? Ano ba sa Tagalog yung corn? Hindi ko na matandaan. Comment nyo. Nabablanko ako. But those were our merienda at ang ice cream at Coca-Cola noon at cake pag talaga may occasion lang, no? So, kaya mas marami talagang payat nung panahon namin, di ba? Kasi yan lang yung mga chichirya. Tsaka when you say chichirya, treats lang talaga siya. You only have them once in a great while. It's not every day that you eat snacks. Eh, kahit kami dito sa Amerika ngayon, may mga snacks kami. Kami mag-asawa, paggabi, popcorn, ganyan, kung ano may isip, cookies. But now, I know better because I gained a lot of weight. When I came here, I was 118. Tapos at my heaviest, I went all the way up to like 133 at my peak. So ngayon, I managed to bring it down to like around 118, 119, 120. I do strength training. Kita niyo yung muscle ko, di ba? Strength training 3 times a week. I go for a walk. My job, kita niyo dito ako sa hair salon, is very active. Like I said, I've learned about calorie deficit. I've learned about macros. So I have these things now that I utilize to stay within my healthy weight. So yon. So keep in mind, pacing nyo lang, be educated about nutrition para hindi kayo ma-shock yung sistema nyo na the next thing, you know, you're eating everything and now you're overweight, you don't feel good, and then mag-start na magkaroon ng mga sakit. Okay? All right, next. Number 9, that Americans are more straightforward. So, dito na to babagsak sa culture. You know, I'll make a separate video about my experience, my culture shock video next time. Pero, yeah, because it's a different culture, diba? So, depende pa kung saan kayong parte ng Amerika, no? I mean, at least dito sa Michigan, they call it like Midwest. Mababait ang mga tao dito, mga friendly ang tao dito. So, ang environment dito, ang culture dito, when you see each other, strangers say hi to each other, they smile, they offer help, it's very welcoming. Eh, syempre, iba naman ang New York City. New York City, yan naman yung mga city na tao na sabi nila nga, if you smile at those people in the city, they think you're a weirdo. So, medyo agresibo, iba. Parang dyan siguro sa Pilipinas, di ba, iba ang Manilenyo. Pero iba naman pag talaga nasa probinsya ka, iba din yung pacing, iba din yung energy, iba yung attitude, di ba? Parang less ano no, less ano ba sabi ko, parang mas milder yung personality ng mga nasa provincial. Tapos pag sa yan, Malate, Tondo, Manila, Makati, basically Metro Manila medyo iba yung angas natin diyan di ba? I'm a Manila girl by the way. So parang ganun din. So depende kung saang part din kayo ng US mapapadpad. You have to understand the culture. Pero one thing is for sure na very obvious na makaalam nyo na rin, Americans don't like to talk about personal things. You don't ask them their age, their weight. You don't ask them how much they make, if they have a husband, and why don't they have a husband if they don't have one. Are they gonna have kids? How come they don't have kids? How much money do you make? All these things. You don't ask these things. So ano sila dyan, sensitive sila pagdating sa ganyan. So ayun yung isa sa mga kailangan yung aralin, yung culture ng area nyo para naman mas madali kayong maka-adapt, madali kayong mag-assimilate kung saang area man kayo lilipat dito sa US. Okay, well, last but not the least, number 10, you can be successful if you put in the work. I think kasama na sa number 5 ko na American dream requires hard work and that there's lots of work for masipags. But, just to highlight, you can be successful if you put in the work. Yes, kahit sa ang larangan naman ng bagay, pero I do have to say na minsan kahit sa Pilipinas, sa bansa natin, kahit hard worker ka, parang hirap umangat, di ba? So, siguro that's one thing that's different and true here in the US, na kung masipag ka, tapos marunong ka humawak ng pera, hindi ka ubos biyaya, you're not keeping up with the Joneses, you know how to budget, you know how to save for the rainy day, alam mong pangalagaan yung pera mo, you can really become successful, But of course, success has different ingredients. May formula yan na hindi lang hard work, 'di ba? Meron yang gratitude, being kind, being mabait. There's a lot of spiritual aspect sa being successful. Kasi syempre, lalo kung ikaw nakikinig, Christian like me, merong mga principle ang Biblia, si Jesus about, being a happy giver, generosity being part of being a Christian, and how that can affect, your quality of life. Pero that's also gonna be a different vlog. I'm excited to share with you next time. So, anyways, yan ang 10 na mga bagay na inyong ma-expect at pwede na kayong mag-prepare paglipat nyo dito sa Amerika. So, that's it. Until next time. And like, share, comment. Kung nagustuhan nyo guys, smash that like button and I will be putting up more videos na informative and hopefully inspiring and motivating. So, until next time, thank you for watching. God bless you all.